Hello everyone, Nicole D'Angelo here with the latest build of the Star Citizen Hangar module. I'm here today just to show you what things have changed and also to give you a little bit of a run around the Hangar module because I don't think I've done it in this feed yet. So we start off here and you're at one end of the hangar. You come in where it looks like there should be a door that you can't do anything with. And in this area, if you buy any of the posters, you might just see them right here. So the Hangar module itself is an early alpha build. We get to see it because we've invested in the game and we're supposed to help them find bugs. So I'm just going to go through some things that have changed. First thing, since this is right here, I'm going to tell you that the passenger side seat now works. So if you get inside of it, you can sit in the passenger side seat and just hang out. La-di-da. Ain't nothing else going on. I'm going to also take care of a couple of things on this side of the hangar before I move on. So, if you look up, there's a video billboard now that at this particular time just keeps on playing the Aurora commercial over and over and over again. But that just came out on Friday night, after the live stream that didn't go off as well as they hoped, but Chris Roberts stated what would it have been like if it was perfect or something along those lines. Alright, so a lot of motion blur in this one. I set it up to high. We're going to run over here and we're going to look at this brand new spaceship. Well, it's been in the marketplace pledge store since the beginning. From what I understand, this is the Avenger. It was a military fighter turned into a trainer, and also it's being picked up by some police forces as a police cruiser, but not sure. I think it's actually being replaced at this point, so that might have happened prior in the universe. It's being replaced by the M50, which we still don't see in model. But it's a gorgeous ship. Kind of looks like a pregnant pigeon. It's gorgeous. Because of the early build, you're going to find some things wrong with it when you could jump on the wing because it's really low. And we're going to see things like this. Here is one of the maneuvering thrusters, and we see that we have the placard over here that tells you danger jet blast. If we go up on the other side and see the same thing, we'll see they probably didn't adjust the maps yet because this one's upside down, and it's reversed with this side. You see it right side up over here, and then you go on the other side and you see it upside down. But even so, this is just a gorgeous gorgeous aircraft. Let's look at it from the top. Alright, and just to give you an idea, we're standing on this big cannon. Actually, I think it's a laser repeater or maybe a Gatling gun. Just really sweet. Comes with 4 hard points plus the nose hard point. So you've got the nose cannon, drop tanks over here, which is kind of funny, and a laser on each side. If you come around the back of the spacecraft, you have a very Freelancer-like ramp, which I didn't expect, though I saw it in the pictures. I actually expected this butt to be a lot bigger, but we're going to go and crouch ourselves in here, and we got some wires hanging out over here. My guess is due to the lack of a space for an engine, maybe the engine slides in here and that's how they connect it up. Or maybe that's for extra fuel or sensors, or oh, who knows. This is just the first pass on this ship. They will be doing more. I like that you don't clip through this part. He actually ducks enough to get under it. It means that they thought this out. You have to stand off to the side to actually close it. Remember, if this is your first time watching this, it's the F key that actually closes it. Without a real walk function or the use key on this, you really need to be very careful going up these stairs. Again, it's very early alpha and I can't help but saying that many times. All right, so when we look at it, you see 2 seats, and I've already seen some things like about the freelancer. It says 2 crew, but there's 4 seats. Crew is how many people it takes to operate the ship, not how many people it carries. Passenger capacity would be covering that, but there is actually no. There's no spec for that on the ship spec pages or in any of the things that we see. So what we see here is we see the pilot seat and we see a passenger seat. And, unlike the Connie, you could actually get in the different seats. So I'm going to go in the back seat real quick and just give you an idea and get out. I want to actually sit in the pilot seat to give you an idea of how amazingly awesome I think this jet is. Well, I call it a jet because it looks like it could exist in today's world, but it's really an amazing spaceship. But they use it as a trainer, so I wonder if it used to be a single seat and they actually added this one back here. But if it's a trainer, there should be controls in the back seat. And like I said, God only knows what this is going to be like because this is first pass. All right, so I'm going to do something because I've seen this in a couple of threads saying there's no room for an engine, okay? So what people have been doing is they've been putting their camera right behind the second seat and going back and saying, look, it goes right into the hold, right? So I'm in the hold right now and there's no space. But what people didn't say when they were doing that, like when you're coming through here, we're coming through, and we go right into the cockpit area. See? There's all this space right here, which is empty, that could have sensors and the engine. And if we go up top, this area in here is all empty. It's small, but it's empty, and you can fit a engine in here. We have to remember that this is an older spaceship. We don't know what the parts were like when this was new, because the 300 series that we've seen so far is the only real fighter that we've been playing with besides the Hornet, which is military. So my guess is there's probably going to be this space occupied by thrusters and engine. That's the other thing that people complained about on this spaceship, is that you can actually go right through the thruster, and we're going to pull back, and all right, we can go right through it, and you can actually go right through the thruster right into the cargo bay. And again, we don't know what ducts or things are going to be set up. See, it goes right into the cargo bay, but my point is, it has all these tunnels up here that could be feeding into it. So you never know what the devs are thinking, and we'll see what the final pass is on this. So now let's really take a look at this beauty as we walk around it, but I'm going to pull back for just a second to give you some good views of it without my guy walking around it. Oh, I can't wait until I could get my girly character walking around this. Oh. So we're looking at the ship, just giving you an idea. In some of the artwork, it showed the wings folding up. I do not see that here. They do curve up, but I don't see the folded up wings like they showed in the some of the artwork. If you're wondering why I have 2, there's no explanation. I just wound up with 2. One is actually just an add-on ship, and the other one's a package. I didn't realize I offered a package, so I'll wind up melting one of these when I find something else that I want. I haven't done one of these before, so I'm going to just stop over here at the Workbench and just give you an idea of what this does. The Workbench is currently offered in the Voyager Direct store, which eventually will be in-game only, and you'll be able to buy credits at 25,000 a day with a maximum of, I forget how much the maximum is. They don't want you to be able to buy your way to the top once the game starts. This Workbench is going to be very important because this is going to be where you mod your existing hardware or new hardware that you get to put on the ships. You could overclock your weapons and engines over here. Of course, it is a profession and you're going to have to get good at it, and that way you can build up the way that your equipment is rated and make some money on that. So I'm really loving this liking the fact that I made the purchase, and it is now permanently part of my hangar, along with my favorite over here, the Constellation. So the Constellation had some minor updates, and since I've never done it, we're going to run inside of it. This is a beautiful ship. It could be a science vessel, a military escort, definitely can take out bombers and light capital ships. Has a ton of weapons, hard points, and tons of upgrade. 35 tons of cargo space. And let's just go up inside. They kind of made it dark, and I understand why. Think about driving and being able to see things around you at night, and having to, having to see in front of you. Sometimes all that light is going to block your vision. So maybe that's why they did it. So this is the captain's chair. We're going to get in it. In this case, the 2 passenger seats, probably navigator and engineer, they don't work. But he gets in the seat, and I just love the way that you look. This is kind of, it's kind of my favorite things in the game so far. Yeah, I guess they could have added red lights or something, but again, they're tweaking things as we go. We're going to go into first person mode. These will be filled with actual working dials and buttons and switches and knobs. Oh, sorry. Fell into that William Shatner Airplane 2 speech. But they're going to be filled with working displays and the readouts that are going to be telling you everything that's going on in the ship. And kind of like the layout. Lots of visibility up here. And of course you can't see what's on your 6, but who knows? Maybe that's what will come up over here sometimes. My guess is this is a star map or maybe the radar. So we're going to get out of this. And we're going to very carefully walk up to the next thing I'm going to show you about the ship. Now, lighting has been updated 3 times on the Connie. Sure, it's going to get updated again. So this one's a little bit harder for me to maneuver. So I'm going to pull down the top turret seat. I could get in the bottom one too, but nothing really to see there. I'm going to get in this top turret seat, and I am going to go up here. We're just going to watch. There we go. It opens up. Now we're going to do this so we can see the turret in action. That's the back of the turret. Nice big weapons, and it follows where I go. Now again, I am sure that these displays are going to follow where I'm pointing eventually. It seems the control is a lot easier to handle. And when people say, my Connie's going to eat your starfighter for lunch, yeah, it's possible, but you still have to worry about how fast these traverse. I mean, when they go by, that fighter's going to go by like really fast, and you're going to be trying to lead your shot like this, and I guess you're going to need to have the turret moving much faster than it is now. All right, back to the outside view. When you hit F now, unlike the last build, it actually centers itself and moves it down. I like that. So a couple of fixes coming in. All right, we're going to go downstairs. He's getting out of the chair. All right, so he's done. Now we're going to go back here. These are all stations that I'm probably going to be seeing for people that are doing science missions. So again, although we only have a crew of 4 on this ship, there'll probably be more spots open for people if you configure it in different ways. Of course, that's speculation on my part. And again, all the displays are placeholders right now, so when I push this up here, it drops my kitchen table so I can have something to eat. We go back here. The P-52 Merlin is in there. Here's the escape pods and hypersleep modules. Push. And you see them in there. And what I like about it is every one of them has their own little display, so you can watch Netflix in the 30th century. So we're going to click this, and we're going to go in here, and of course we're going to close it, because who wants to go to the bathroom? Oh, yes, it works. This is one of the things I am glad they did. There is no third person in this. I don't think the G key works. Yeah, nothing works. When you're on the toilet, you're on the toilet. All right, we're gonna get off the toilet. We're gonna go and look at the shower. I don't think there's any working water on these ships right now. Yeah, it just locks you in here. That's it. Pretty cool. So we've got a lot of detail going on here. Again, not that useful, but beautiful. 3 docking collars. 1 there, 1 there, and of course 1 right there. We are now on the elevator that's going to put us down to the surface. Kind of like the one in Armageddon. And that's pretty weird. There's like light coming out of nowhere under here. Maybe it's coming out of here, but it's not. This halo shouldn't be there. Yeah, that's just light coming out of somewhere down here. It's just like light without any source. It's just weird. Alright, so that probably will be fixed as time moves on. So we've got all that going on, and I'm going to run up here before we go take a look at the new Aurora and a couple of other things that are going on in this hangar. Alright, oh, we still have that sinking feeling where we melt into the elevator on the way up. Thought they would have fixed that, but there's 2 additions up here in this patch. Here we go with number 1. This is where you can change into your new privateer outfit. And now, Jebediah is, that's a Kerbal Space Program thing. He's in his privateer outfit. Too bad I don't have a freelancer right now. That would go well. So you can change clothes. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more as time goes on. This is just the first one. And this is a nice addition. I played Mass Effect and collected all the fish when I played those games. And part of the $20 million stretch goal was that we all got fish tanks with the Golden Midas, I think it's called. The Midas fish, yeah, Golden Midas fish. Unfortunately, I can't feed them yet. I'm sure all that stuff will be worked into it. Alright, we're going to head on over to the configuration module over here. And I have both of my Auroras in there. Yeah, the tab key brings that up. So you can drag and drop your ship on here, and then you just drag over what you're trying to do. So there's weapons. You add the weapons to your ship. Alright, and this is how you do it. And the Aurora Ln is better because it has 2 extra weapon slots as we move it around. You have the one up here. That one's hard to hit. Alright, we're just gonna let it go because I don't think I could hit it. Yeah, the configurator doesn't have the new weapon slots in it, from what it looks like. Or I'm just really bad at using the configurator. It should be right over here on the top. It's not there right now. We're just going to leave the configurator. So I like to drive this thing in third person, like I said. WSAD, just like every other first person shooter, and this is the CryEngine 3. So we're jumping over here real fast, and we are going to stop. Well, we're gonna crash. I do not know how to drive these things. They really need to have the joystick or let's just move it over in between the 2. Again, I have 2. One is a package, one is a ship. I like to take, to purchase pretty much a ship every now and then, just as a placeholder. In this situation, we'll just say somebody was gracious and thought that I didn't have one and sent me one. Alright, so we are going to take a look at the RSI Aurora Ln. This is a 2044 version. Last year when the game was announced, they announced the Aurora as the first ship, and it was a 2943 version. This year, with the release of the commercial, they have not updated the brochure yet. I'm sure that will be coming. They have announced the Aurora Ln, which is now the true upscale model. The models of Aurora are the ES, which is the very base model with pretty much no weapons, no extra gear on it whatsoever, and 10-ton, 10-ton capacity for hauling. Actually, I think it's a 5-ton capacity for hauling. Then you have the CL, which is a clipper, which gives you 10 tons, I believe, and these two class 1 hardpoints in the front with really small weapons on them. The LMR is 5-ton, I think, capability. Someone's going to correct me, I know it, but it still only comes up with these two weapons. The LX adds the missiles, which we have the missile rack up there, but they do not have the models of the missiles in the game yet. They will come at a later date. And it adds a lot of like upscale trim to it and everything. Think about a car, because when you watch the commercial, they're using a young 20-ish man that's talking about which one he should buy. In fact, the whole commercial's situated towards that initial first purchase. In fact, the way that Chris Roberts talks about the Aurora is that it is the Ford Escort of this universe. So I'm just going to walk around it real quick. This is the thruster. It's a really small thruster, so it's not really going to have a lot of speed, but it's a really light spaceship also. The modules are going to be held under here, suspended and clamped in right under here. So think of like a back end of an 18-wheeler being placed in here. There are ducted fans built into the bottom wings that allow this thing to hover. So it is a VTOL spacecraft. And the front of it, the glass, which really, it looks like a 1950s Sikorsky helicopter, but it's just gorgeous. And I always said there was going to be an Aurora always in my hangar, and I think that there is going to be. This is the one that I'm going to keep, and just loving it, loving it, loving it. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to get in. Come on. I could just walk up it, and I mean, this just takes time out of the game. I wonder how often we're going to actually use the keys to get in. They didn't upgrade the bed. I think the bed is upgraded in the LX. I wasn't around for the LX model. Somebody will have to show a picture of that. This one, however, think about the bed. I'll just go back to that as being the place that you log out when you're in space. That's all. It's like an inn in WoW or one of the other games. And, oh wow, there's just nothing to see because of that engine up there. Well, it's got a much bigger engine. So we're getting out. And the F key, of course, is what I'm hitting all the time. And we're going to move forward. And we're going to come in here and we're going to sit in the upscale seat. Now, I always have questions about these seats. They're so big in this game, and really, are there ejection seats in space? But when I look at this thing, it looks like there could be. Like, this could turn into an escape pod. We have inflatable escape pods being developed for the space station, so maybe that's what's going to be happening with this. By the way, I hope everybody... we're in a spaceship called the Aurora, and I'm going to tell you this. The reason why I opted to get the Aurora Ln this week was because of the death of Scott Carpenter. He was one of the original 7 Mercury astronauts. He flew in the capsule Aurora 7 and just died recently. Let's take a look at his wiki. He really was a very interesting man. I remember him being the good-looking one in the Right Stuff. But this is this is the Aurora, and that's why I bought it. So we're just going to take a look at this and look at it from some different angles. I found a really cool angle to see at from here, and a lot of people will look at it like this, which I think is cool. But what I started doing was just looking at this one angle from down here. It's just so cool how they put so much detail into everything in the ship. And, you know, I can't wait to actually play. So, because there's really nothing to do in this game except for look at your ships, they're thinking about what else they could do for us. And this was already set up for their live, one of their cons that they did. I don't know if it was Gamescon, Dragon Con, or one of the other packs. But they set this up, and there on the other side, actually we'll set it up on this side, is a obstacle course where you can do some jumps. They also, there is no damage models on anything, no way to get hurt or whatever. So it's just pure fun, and they even reduced the gravity, it seems like, a little bit to make this easier. Yeah, when you design the game and you're a god, you can do anything that you want. Well, that's just not right. I really stink at this. I need to go for lessons. Well, I'll tell you this. There'll probably be quite a few people doing videos with things that they can do with this obstacle course that I will not be doing. So I'm going to try that jump one more time just to give you guys an idea of what goes on. And then we're going to talk about the last couple of things that were announced at the CitizenCon this past weekend. Oh yes, of course we're not going to make that one because I stink. But alright, we're going to do the last one, which is going to be to knock down some boxes. This one's not too hard, at least it's not supposed to be. And we're going to go straight forward. Yes, wonderful physics engine inside of this game. Alright, as we look over on my favorite ship, the Constellation, let's just talk real quick. So, this past weekend during Gamescom, my weekend is actually tonight, so I guess it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They had a lot of hidden kind of announcements, so watch the live stream on YouTube. There is a lot of artwork, and they have lots of models of the female characters. They have lots of ships that we haven't seen yet. They have the Gladiator, and they have the Retaliator artwork, final conceptual artwork. And of course they released the Avenger and the Aurora Ln. There's a lot of work going on for the dogfighting module, which is hopefully going to be out by end of year. If it's not, please don't get in a tizzy. These people are working their rear ends off. So there's a lot going on right now with this game. This game is moving along at the pace it's supposed to be. Remember, this is early alpha. We don't even have a completed game with all the modules to put into alpha yet. So all those are going to come together little by little, and as each one comes out, it's going to be tweaked, and it's going to continue to be tweaked until the end of the production cycle, or we should call it the development cycle, sorry. So lots going on, lots of changes, lots of additions, and we are excited to see what's going on in the future. Speaking of the future, the patch was held up by unknown items, which I failed to find out exactly all the information about, but we were supposed to have a brochure and a commercial and variants released for the F7A and F7C Hornet on Friday night. A patch wound up coming out on Saturday night, and the Hornet wound up being pushed to next Friday. Because of that, the Aurora Ln, which was released, is now going to be on sale through next week. I don't know what day it's ending, but it will be on sale through next week. Tonight is Sunday the 13th. I'm going to do my best to get this video out tonight so everyone can watch it. And remember that tomorrow is the last day that you can purchase the not the Avenger, the Retaliator and the Gladiator. Gladiator is a two-person manned dive bomber / torpedo bomber, and the Retaliator is a strategic bomber with a jump engine. It's got a lot of gorgeous interior space, so that's something to look for. There is a new package called the Advanced Hunter Package, which sells for $70, I believe. It is the Avenger with, of course, credits and alpha and beta access and the CD. It's essentially the Digital Bounty Hunter series upgraded for the Avenger. So those are the things that are going on. Friday night, next week, we will see a brochure and the release of the Hornet variants, but even more important to me is Wingman's Hangar episode 42 will be at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. I believe we're still Greenwich -5, so take a look at that. There should be some wild things going on in that show. And of course, a video that you'll see me in and about 50 other people saying happy birthday to Star Citizen. So that's all I have for you tonight. I hope you liked what you saw. I'm going to keep this up. And, well, thanks for coming into the Addicted Gamer.